It's not your profit, it's your turnover. Now, your turnover can be vastly different to what your profit is. So it's your turnover of 50,000 that is going to be the trigger. If your return for this year is over 50,000, you will be mandated into MTD next year. You have no choice. You'll get a letter from HMRC saying you're mandated. So you'll be mandated from the 26-27 tax year. So your first quarter is April, May, June 2026. That isn't that far away. We're less than a year away now. So if you're not already using software and au fait with that software, just doing the bookkeeping, the ins and outs, you might struggle because by then you have to be doing it. So they're going to follow the same filing deadlines as they do for VAT. So the first quarter will be April, May, June. So you get a month and then 7 days to file your return. So your return will be due by the 7th of August, and that will follow on. So you get the month plus 7 days in order to, so you've got time. And the reason for that is that you might get to the end of June, but you might get some invoices in at the beginning of July that belong to June month that are dated end of June. So they have to give you that little bit of time. The penalty regime for not filing it is a points-based system that will build up.
Okay.
If you're late filing and then you build up these points, the points are then knocked off after a certain period of time, and you go back to zero if you then start filing your returns on time. So all you're going to have to file really is your income and expenditure for that quarter. It shouldn't be too complicated. The software manufacturers, I say this, the software manufacturers are actually getting everything in place in order to do this. What I don't recommend people do is to just go and press a button at the end of the quarter. Okay. You need to check, you need to do a sanity check to make sure that those figures are correct. Otherwise, you can be causing yourself lots of problems that come the end of the year. So there's actually 5 returns. They did originally say 6. They're now saying that there will be 5.
5, okay.
So there'll be the 4 quarterly returns that you'll have to file, pretty much like you would with your VAT return if you're VAT registered. Then the 5th return is where if you're going to file the quarterly returns yourself, which some people will, the 5th return is where your accountant gets involved, does all of the balancing, does all of your claims, your annual investment allowance, or whatever tax allowances that we can claim for you to reduce your tax bill to then file your actual tax return.
Right. Okay. So it's like the 4 quarters, the 4 ones, and the main one making 5.
And the main one
basically
will still be there. So the main one that you have now will still be there. These others are just on top of that.
Okay.
Now, if you're mandated, it will be. I've got some numbers here. So your self-assessment turnover that's in the SA 103 part of your tax return. So if you're filling that in, and you're above 50,000. If you've got an SA 103F, which is your other income from self-assessment, and then the SA 105, which is the property income part of the self-assessment form, then or foreign gross property income as well. So it's not just UK income, it's foreign property income.
Okay.
If you're filling those boxes in, and it doesn't have to be 50,000 on one thing or the other. If the two add up to that 50,000, then you're mandated. If you're mandated into MTD, you have to do it. And so what happens then if that's a one-off year, it's a really good year, and after that you're not earning the amount that you would need to be in MTD? Once you're in it for 3 years.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
So regardless, so if your turnover drops the following year, you're in it, so you're there for 3 years.
There.
Your turnover then has to drop for a certain period of time for you to be able to drop back out of MTD.
Right.
Once you're in it, I think you're kind of going to be there, because the following year, as you alluded to, the threshold drops to 30,000 turnover, and the year after that, it drops to 20. We don't know if they will bother with anybody below 20,000. They haven't indicated whether they will or whether they won't yet. But I think coming down the line, it will just be that if you're doing a self-assessment, that you're doing quarterly returns. That's my own thought, but they haven't said for anybody under 20,000 as yet.